Hey everybody, it's a rainy day here in Mexico City, but today we are gonna hop on the hop on, hop off bus.
We are going to get on the Turibus and check out some great sights around the city.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Deb.
And welcome back to the channel. So we are here in our apartment in Mexico City, and we thought we would share a little nice experience that we've had over the last couple days.
So we decided to do the Turibus this weekend, and it is a hop-on, hop-off bus here in Mexico City. It cost us $18 each, which was a super bargain, I thought.
Bargain. We could have taken an Uber somewhere and back for $18 each, and in this case, we got 2 days of going all over the city. So
now, if you're just going to do it for about a day, it is going to cost you more like $15. But for that extra $3, it was so worth it for the 2 days for us.
It's nice and close for us. We are right here off the Plaza de Cibeles, where there is the Fountain of Cibele, and it it's a hub for the routes. So we can walk right down, hop on whichever route we want, and be able to take off.
So the fountain outside is actually a replica from one in Madrid, Spain. And so it's really pretty. I'm sure we'll show you some pictures of that.
Beautiful and lit up, especially
and we can
at
see
night.
it from our window, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So the bus, we were going to be very ambitious and do all 4 routes of the bus.
No. Yes. We were going to. We were going to try. Yeah, it did not work out.
Bus route 1, which was the red bus, it was a full day. So there was
it's the longest. It has the most stops. It's the biggest. And so Deb was like, let's do 2 one day and 2 the other. And I was like, yeah, sure.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, we did 1 on the first day. And that was exhausting. It was tons of stuff to do.
It was. So the first day we got on the bus, and it started outside here, and we went by a couple of monuments. So we went by the Independence Monument, which is also known as the Angel.
Yes.
And it represents Mexico's independence from Spain.
Absolutely beautiful, tall statue. And it's really neat as you're going around the roundabout. You can kind of see it as you're going. It's really cool.
And then we went by the Benito Juarez hemicycle.
The hemicycle, yeah, which is it's a really cool. There's a statue of Benito Juarez, but it's just a whole monument that's really cool. Really neat.
And it is dedicated to former President
Benito Juarez.
That's correct.
Imagine that.
But we knew what our first actual stop was going to be when we were getting on the bus, because we were going to take the bus to the Zócalo.
To the Zócalo, which is the city center. And it is a huge city center.
And that is really where we started our day's adventure.
Yeah, just a tip if you're going to take the red bus, or if you're going to take any of the buses, Mexico City has beautiful trees, lots and lots of trees. So just be cautious and careful if you're going to sit upstairs.
Yes.
Okay, so as we mentioned, we started our hop-on, hop-off bus day by taking the red line, which takes us down to the Zócalo.
The Zócalo, also known as Constitution Plaza. So this is a really, really large square in the middle of Mexico City. It is actually one of the largest in the world and the largest in Mexico itself.
Yeah.
And it is impressive.
It's amazing. We've been to a lot of city centers, old towns, it is amazing.
It hosts the Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico City. And we did walk through that too. There was something going on, so we were just quiet and we went on through. But it's very impressive too, and just gorgeous. The architecture is just amazing on the church.
And the National Palace is down there too, which is just huge. It's awesome.
And when we were down there, we went down first thing in the morning. They were setting up a huge stage and with chairs and everything for a large concert that was going down there. So it was actually a little bit peaceful when we were there, but I can imagine.
Until they did the sound tests, which were really loud.
They were loud. But I can imagine by Saturday night, it's probably packed down there.
Yeah. It was like, if you like to stay away from the crowds, I would say that is a tip. Like we were probably down there at, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there, and it was quiet. There weren't a lot of crowds. It was easy to walk around. Now, by the time we got back to the Zócalo at lunchtime, it was kind of going crazy.
It was.
So it was good. But it was really great to be able to walk around and see everything down there.
So one of the most fascinating things about being down at the Zócalo is the ruins that are down there.
So if you aren't familiar with kind of the history of Mexico City, and I'm going to make this super brief, but basically when the Aztecs came in, Mexico City sits in a basin with mountains surrounding it, and there was a big lake at the bottom of the basin, and the Aztecs came in and they built the city of Tenochtitlan on the basin. Basically, talk about a feat of engineering. They were able to basically raise the city up on top of a saltwater lake. And then Mexico City, as it's grown, has built on top of that city to become the wonderful city that is Mexico City. And they have started to find the ruins from Aztec ruins underneath a lot of the city. And down in the Zócalo, you can go and walk through some of the amazing ruins that were the Aztecan city center.
So you can actually, without actually paying to get in, you can see it, you can walk around it, but it's $5 to get in. It was definitely a bargain.
Right.
And once you get in, you kind of get up close and personal to some of the ruins that they're still working on to this day.
They are.
And it included a museum too. So for $5, that was super well worth it. The museum had so much history to it and everything that they've been unearthing, and it's just incredible finds that they have found down underneath the city.
It's amazing. And to be able to walk through, basically, and you can see, so as the Aztec civilization grew, each progressive leader would build on top of the main temple. And so you can see the layers, and they're showing, they kind of give you a really good indication of how to spot the layers as the different kind of leaders progressed. It is, if you are coming to Mexico City, it is definitely worth going down to the Zócalo and being able to go through and walk through both the ruins and the museum.
And it was actually the capital of the Aztec Empire until 1521 when the Spanish came.
We had the
Unfortunately.
conquest, right?
So we also, just from the Zócalo, we walked some of the back streets, which was just interesting anyway. So many like little vendors set up all over the place. We walked until we decided we wanted some lunch, and we found a nice little restaurant called Sazon. Sazon. It's got a Z in it. Sazon restaurant.
Yeah.
So we got enchiladas.
Yes, amazing enchiladas. She got red sauce enchiladas, and I got green chile sauce enchiladas, and they were really good. If you like shopping, if you're into shopping, the Zócalo and the areas around it are all for you. There is so much shopping, different areas. There are some like jewelry areas and then clothing areas. I mean, there's just a ton to do. There's tons of souvenirs and things like that as well.
And then we were back on the bus for our next adventure.
Yep. So we probably spent 2 hours down at the Zócalo probably more between
like
walking around, eating lunch, going through the museum and the ruins. It was amazing. So now we hopped right back on the Red Route bus and headed to Chapultepec Park, which is amazing.
It's a must-see for sure.
Yeah.
And so, surprisingly, I don't know how this happened, but we actually only got off on 2 stops on the Red bus.
On all the Red bus.
For the whole day, because the 2 stops we chose were just...
They just had so much to do. Yeah.
So Chapultepec Park is very nice park, and it's located here in Mexico City. And it's like, it just feels like you're stepping out of the city into all of this greenery, and it's just an escape from the city for a day, basically. Yes. It has a botanical garden, a zoo,
beautiful lake,
a lake where you can rent some little boats. It has a couple of museums. So it has the National Anthropology Museum is there. We did not make it to it, and the Modern Art Museum.
Yeah.
But the museum we did choose to go see was the Chapultepec Castle Museum.
Right. Yeah. And that one, I mean, if you're going to go and only see one of the museums in Chapultepec Park, the castle is up on the hill. So just be prepared. It is a walk, and you're already up at a higher elevation up here in Mexico City. So now you're walking up to an even higher elevation. So just be prepared for the walk.
So the hill was a sacred place for the Aztecs. It has served, the castle itself has served so many purposes along the way. Just, it's kind of changed. In 1841, it was a military academy. It was eventually remodeled and became the residence for Maximilian the First.
Charlotte, yeah.
And so there's a lot of historic stuff in the castle when you're walking through, and really pretty gardens and views, looking out over the city. So it's just a very fascinating place to be.
There's kind of two parts to the museum. The first part is kind of the historical element, where you can go and you can see a lot of the old portraits. You can see a lot of the like the items from different times. And then the other side is more like going and seeing inside the castle, the different rooms, the different salons. So it's kind of so make sure you see both of them.
So after Maximilian, it became the official residence of the president until 1939, when it became a museum.
Which is an amazing museum. Yeah.
And if you're very lucky when you visit the museum, well, first of all, there's just lots of fascinating things to see. But if you're very lucky, you might see a cat walking through the grounds.
Deb was thrilled. We're looking at the splendor of this beautiful castle. We're actually looking out over Chapultepec Park, and I'm like, wow, look at how beautiful the lake is. And she goes, look, a cat. And then, of course, zoomed in on the cat. That's Deb.
Yeah. So after spending our afternoon there, we were pretty tired by the time we got done with all that.
We were like, okay, let's go do the botanical gardens while we're here, because we were right there. I mean, right there. And so we were like, let's do the botanical gardens. And so we walked, and the botanical gardens close at 4, but I think they close their gates to letting new people in at either 3 or 3:30. So we just missed it. But we'll go back and do it. But that's how close. I mean, you can walk from Chapultepec Castle right to the botanical gardens and get right in. So,
and then we just jumped back on the bus and headed back to our little square here.
Yeah, because that was a lot. And I think we ended up with like 16,000 steps, even though we were riding on a bus. So totally worth it, though. Okay.
On day 2, we will just admit we were tired from day 1.
We'll admit defeat.
But on day 2, we got on the southern route bus, which is the green bus.
Yeah. We were not as ambitious, is what I was saying.
Not as ambitious.
So there's 4 routes. The first day we're going to do 2. The second day we're going to do. The first day we got through 1 and we're exhausted. So we got up. We were like, look, let's do 1. If we get to do 2, then we'll do 2. But it was totally worth it.
It was great. So day 2 was actually a lot chillier than day 1. Actually, when we started out on the bus on that day, we started out. Typically, you want to sit up top in the open. But it was a little drizzly,
rainy,
and it was definitely chilly, like maybe 60 degrees that morning, maybe a little bit less actually when we started out.
Yeah.
So we had our plan for that day, though, and the only thing we decided we were going to get off on this day down. Our first stop was going to be the one thing was going to be the Blue House Museum,
Frida Kahlo Museum.
Yes.
Yeah. So hold on. So first of all, let's get the logistics. We took the green line this time. So, and the green line is the big thing that's on the green line is the Blue House. So the Frida Kahlo Museum. So we got to the Blue House and
we went and got what we thought was in line. And then we discovered, we needed to buy our tickets online. And
there were no tickets available. Make sure you buy your tickets ahead of time.
Yep. And this museum is where she was born, lived, and died. So it's very fascinating.
But it was not a total defeat. Like we still
made the most out of our day.
Oh yeah. It was an amazing day.
At that same stop is the Coyoacán Historical Center.
Yes.
Now, this was, I loved it.
I loved it too.
It felt a lot more quaint and more authentic than kind of where we are in Roma Norte, maybe.
It was a huge shift, like a pendulum shift from being in the Zócalo the day before, which is a huge, the Zócalo is this huge city center, just tons of shops and vending and kind of touristy craziness, right? But amazing. And then Coyoacán was this quaint, cute little city center or barrio center.
And it was very busy for a Sunday.
And it was busy. Yeah. At church, we had gotten there right at about 11 o'clock. Church was getting out. The city center was waking up. The kind of little centro was waking up. We found a lovely restaurant.
We ate at Cabo Cayote,
which was great. Deb looked up and she's like, there is a seat on that balcony, a table on the balcony that is available. Let's go see if we can get it.
It was a very small balcony, and the
very narrow.
The restaurant was large, but the outside balcony had 4 different tables, and 2 on each side of the building. And I looked up and I'm like, oh, let's go ask her. We can go sit up there. And it was chilly. So again, it was
chilly.
like 60 degrees, no sunshine.
She was probably thinking, yeah, you're crazy. Why you want to sit outside on the balcony?
And we drank our coffee while we were up there.
Had an amazing meal.
Yes. So coffee, I typically wouldn't drink with a Mexican meal, but it was chilly. So the coffee went really good. But so that was nice. And it had like wonderful views overlooking the Colonial Center and the fountain. So there is a fountain there with the coyotes in it.
With the coyotes, yeah.
And so the fountain's relatively famous. So, it's a nice place to go down and take pictures of anyway. It was just really great sitting up there and having those views.
It's like great people watching and just like experiencing like this little city center kind of wake up. It was really cool. And again, I'm not gonna go past it. The food was great.
The food was very good. So we walked the streets too. We actually walked through an art fair.
Which was cool.
It was very cool. There was a lot of vendors there.
Yep.
And we went into the Mercado Coyoacán.
Yep.
And it's actually a really nice Mercado. There was lots of places to eat in there too. It just felt very packed.
Man, yeah, like it felt like everybody had come, maybe either gotten up in the morning or they'd gotten out of church, and everybody went into the Mercado. And it's cool because they're like inside the middle of the Mercado. There's all these little mini restaurants, and they're cooking food, and all the tables or all the stools at the bars, they're all packed.
Yes,
like we were like, there's no
popular.
way we're going to find a spot.
So we wound up at our other restaurant anyway, which worked out really well.
It worked out. It was great. And it was a little cooler, but it was nice to see.
So that kind of is how we spent our Sunday, is just down at the Coyoacán.
Yep.
Square.
One thing, we didn't do it because it was cool, but they do have a very famous ice cream spot right there, right down there. It's the
it was on our to-do list, but then we decided it's a little chilly today.
It's too cold today. So, but if you're there and it's warm, go get ice cream. Yeah.
Now we have been on a few of these hop-on, hop-off buses.
Yep.
But this was the first time. So we got back on the bus after being down at the square and headed back up to our little square up here. And this is the first time we'd ever drove through a tunnel in a hop-on, hop-off bus. Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
And actually, I think it's the first time we've ever been on a hop-on, hop-off bus where it got on the highway. And it was like, wow, we're blazing down the road at 55 miles an hour. This is kind of crazy.
And there were definitely some spots on that bus where we had to watch for trees.
Yeah, there were quite a few. You have to be careful if you're going to sit up top.
It's almost kind of humorous, especially if you're sitting like on the way back. We were sitting towards the back of the bus up top. And as the trees come, you see everybody in front of you. Everybody's ducks.
Yep. So you'll see them coming. But
it's an adventure.
You guys, it's well worth doing. And I say this every time we talk about hop on off bus. I used to think they were super touristy. Now I look at them as a great, inexpensive way to get around the city.
It is a great way to see the city.
We covered a lot of territory, and despite being on the bus, each day got like 10, 15,000 steps easy because we were hopping off and going and doing things. So totally worth doing.
Yep.
So,
yeah. It was a very nice way to see the city.
So I think we still have 2 more to go. We're not going to do them on this trip, but next time we come back, we have 2 more routes that we're able to do and see even more of the city. So it was a great way to do it. I really enjoyed it. We'll keep doing these hop-on, hop-off buses. So if you have experiences with the hop-on, hop-off bus here in Mexico City, please leave a question or a comment if you've got questions. Make sure you like and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us.
And we will see you in the next video.